Yeah, it is.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out in this sweltering heat. I hope it's cool. You have water in front of you. We're so excited to introduce the personalization process and what's next in your journey with Mosaic Concierge Living. I'd like to introduce my team. I'm not sure everybody's kind of sporadic, but we know Ray, who's in the back. She's going to be manning our online people, as well as working with the team here. So, but I would like to introduce Leslie Pennington, who is our personalization coordinator. Leslie joined us about 3 weeks ago, so she's all up to speed. Just kidding. But we are working hard to get her trained and familiar with what you all will be working with in the next couple of weeks. She will be setting appointments, probably starting the second week of July. That's the anticipation. Just for information, she will reach out to you. We need some direction from the construction company on how we are going to organize and get the orders in, get the personalization orders in. I do want to I want Leslie to introduce herself. I'm sorry, I'm like, sweaty. And then we have thank you. We have special guests here from Perkins Eastman. I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves, but and once Leslie is done. Okay, sorry. I was trying to catch my breath. So Leslie, why did you do this?
Hi, I'm Leslie, and I'm excited to be part of the Mosaic Concierge Living team. I come here with a diverse background in commercial architecture, residential design, home staging, and styling, and I will be your guide to personalize your new home here. From selecting finishes to refining design details, I will be here to help you make the process go smoothly, be enjoyable, and tailored to your needs and style. I really look forward to getting and working to create a space that really feels like home.
Awesome. So Shannon, do you want to introduce your team? Okay, great. So this is our Perkins Eastman Interiors team, and Shannon is going to introduce her team. Thank you. Take it away.
All right. Good morning, everyone. It's so nice to see everybody come out into this sweltering heat. I hope you have cooled off. Closer. Okay. My name is Shannon. Shannon Kubistik. I am from Perkins Eastman Architects. I am based in our Pittsburgh office. We have Jade Morningstar, who is also in the Pittsburgh office of Perkins Eastman. She's also an interior designer. And Adriana Campos, Perkins Eastman, Stanford. So the three of us have been working on Mosaic Concierge Living for several years. We have a fourth interior designer who really focused on more of your amenity spaces. But the three of us really have been extremely involved in the design of the residences as well. So that's why we're here. Jade is going to be going through we call it the personalization booklet, which you will get at the end of today. The process is you'll hand in your lanyard with your name on it, and you will get your book to take home, as well as your individual floor plan for your particular residence. Just to kind of kick it off, some of you had a chance to come up and look at the table. We've got 3, what we're calling the base palettes, and those are the palettes framed in these beautiful boards. We have palette A, palette B, and palette C. Palette A is more neutral. It's more light and bright. This is the one that if you visit the Welcome Center, this is the one that we use for the basis of design there. The next palette, palette B, is more of your cool toned, a little bit more neutral, grays and whites, a really great background for whatever you want to do with, personalize. I cannot say that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? With color, fabrics, things like that, and artwork. The third it is a little bit on the warmer side. Warm and cozy is what we've been calling it. So that's just an introduction of what is on the table. And then the loose samples, these little white boxes are upgrade materials. So the box that is to the right of each board are the upgrade materials for that particular palette. Okay, so at the end, you'll have time to come up and really take a look at everything.
Can you mix and match?
So we're hoping that we've curated these so well that you will love them in their entirety. But, you know, and you also have your upgrade items that you can replace. But if there is absolutely something that you want to mix and match, that's a conversation that you'll have with Leslie. And she will work that out with you and figure out what the cost is and everything for that upgrade. Oh, and the question. So yesterday because we had our first meeting yesterday with a handful of you, and we had asked for everybody in attendance to hold their questions until the end and, you know, jot down notes. However, we had a little debrief after yesterday, and what we're going to do is we're going to go through several slides, take a little break. You can ask your questions then. We don't want it to get too lengthy because we want to make sure we have enough time. But we're going to do it that way. We're going to try it that way today. So we'll take a break in between sections, and then you can ask your questions that way. And then, of course, at the end, we'll have a Q&A again. The time frame, who knows the time frame? Because I believe that the goal is to have pricing, because we've got, oh, I'm sorry. Somebody asked that question yesterday, and it was more about the timing for when you need to make decisions. Today, I think this is an hour-ish. Yeah. So I think we should be okay. All right, Jade, would you like to take it away?
Sure.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me? Should I just hold the mic? Can you hear me?
You have to be just louder.
Project my voice.
Unless you want to use the mic.
Was that easier?
It was bad.
Can you hear me?
No.
Third time's the charm. Can you guys hear me? There we go. All right, how are you all doing today? Good. All right, let's talk some palettes. So Shannon kind of already went through the 3 palettes. So you'll see on the screen and up here on the table, if you didn't get a chance to before you took your seats, we have palette A, B, and C. And the goal is for you guys to select one of these palettes. But you can work with Leslie to kind of customize if you have a material that you want to use or you want to mix and match the palettes, talk with Leslie. We can work with you guys on that. But I'm going to go through the presentation today is going to be the same booklet that you will get at the end. So you will have the exact presentation showing so you guys can leaf through it in depth more on your own.
If you want the also the digital part, the digital form, you can also have it, but you just have to request it, please.
All right, so starting with palette A, talking general finishes, we have a general wall paint, just like a neutral wall paint, and then white paint for the ceiling and trims. The flooring throughout the apartments will be LVT, luxury vinyl tile. And then there is an option if you would like to add carpet to the bedrooms and dens, if your unit has a den, you can add carpet to those rooms as just a standard option. It's not an upgrade. And then in the entry, we have 2 options for you guys to select from for each palette. So for palette A, we have kind of a fun tile and a more classic tile. So option 1 is your fun tile. It's this hexagon. And as you see, it can create several different patterns. So if you choose palette A and choose the option 1 tile, you will also have the option to select how you want that tile to be installed. Option 2 is a more classic stone look tile. It's a porcelain tile that's meant to look more like stone. kitchen finishes, we are proposing to use a craft made cabinet in this, we're calling it a slim shaker or a micro shaker style. It's kind of a mid-tone brown with satin nickel hardware. We have quartz countertops. This particular pattern, as you'll see in the install image, is kind of a large scale pattern, white background, stone look, and then a porcelain slab backsplash. For the bathroom finishes, we're proposing the same cabinets, countertops, and hardware. There's porcelain tile for the floor and the shower walls. It's a 24 by 24 size. And then we're proposing a 2x2 mosaic in the same colorway for the shower floor. And then for the primary bathrooms, we have two options for a wall, like a wall accent tile. Option one is our fun option, and option two is your more classic option. In palette A here, we're showing a 3D white picket tile for the fun accent, and we're proposing that it's installed vertically. And then option two is a large format 10 by 30 kind of textural tile. You guys can come up, if you're here in the room, come up and see the tile here on the board. It's kind of got a little bit of grooves, a little texture to it.
The accent tile, the accent tile, this tile is for the wet wall, which is the wall behind the sink. Okay.
Yes, so it's just for the wall behind the sink in the primary bathroom. All the other walls will be painted. And if your unit has a second bathroom, all the walls in there will be painted. Now for upgrade features, as I mentioned, all of the residences will have LVT as a standard, but if you would like to upgrade your flooring, you can upgrade it to this engineered hardwood flooring. It's in a very similar tone to the LVT. We also have, if you would like to add carpet to the bedrooms or dens, we have a thicker pile carpet. It's a little bit more plush, just feels a little bit softer, more luxurious. And then for the entry, we have an upgrade option for that as well. It's real marble tile in an 18 by 18 square. And then for the kitchens and bathrooms, you can also upgrade your quartz countertop to another large format quartz from Cambria. And there's also the option to run the same quartz up the backsplash if you would like to do that instead of the plain white porcelain slab. Moving into palette B is very similar to palette A. We have a neutral wall paint, white trim and ceilings, a grayer LVT for throughout the unit, and then carpet, beige kind of carpet for the bedrooms and dens. For palette B, option one is this fun, I guess you can kind of say star printed tile. It's a 9 by 9 size. And as you see, the way that it is installed, it kind of creates this fun star checkered pattern. And then the classic stone option for option two. For casework here in the kitchen, we're proposing white cabinets, the same satin nickel hardware, kind of a more muted, softer quartz countertop, and the same white porcelain backsplash. Bathroom finishes, the same cabinets, countertops, hardware. And then the porcelain tile for this option is predominantly white, but you'll see in that install image that it's got a lot of movement and veining throughout it. And then we're proposing the coordinating mosaic tile for the shower floors. And then for the accent tile in the primary baths, option one is this gray subway textured tile. And then option two is another large format textured tile in the same, with the same like veining as the floor and shower tile. We also have an upgrade hardwood option for palette B. It's in a grayer, darker grayer tone. We have an upgrade carpet. An upgrade marble tile and an upgrade quartz counter. And then palette C, similar to the previous two palettes. General wall paint's pretty neutral, white trim for white trim and white ceilings, neutral carpet, and kind of a warmer LVT. Luxury vinyl tile. And then for the entry tiles, option 1, we're proposing a 24 by 24 checkered black and white tile. It's the fun option. And then option 2 is your classic stone look. For the kitchens, we're proposing kind of a darker wood, warm tone wood for the cabinets. Same satin nickel hardware. Quartz countertop has a lot of like movement, not as much veining as the other two options. And then the same white porcelain slab backsplash. Bathrooms, we're proposing the same cabinets, countertops, hardware, and then the floor and shower wall tile are this warm brown porcelain tile, and then the coordinating mosaic for the shower floor. And then for the accent wall in the bathroom, option 1 is a 4x4 mixed finish ceramic wall tile. And then option 2 is the textured wall tile. Then we also have a hardwood upgrade, carpet upgrade, marble upgrade, and a quartz upgrade as well. I think now's a good time to pause if you guys have any questions related to the 3 palettes.
Chat. Way at the edge, it sort of looked like maybe it wasn't fully carpeting the room.
It will, yes.
Chat.
Can you mix and match between these different palettes?
We're gonna go around. If you have questions, I'll come around with a microphone and we'll answer them to the best of our ability. There are some that we're still waiting on answers that we got yesterday, but we'll be available to answer all of those very shortly. So Jake, can you repeat that?
My question was whether the option for the carpeting vendors was a wall-to-wall carpeting or something less.
It'll be wall to wall.
It'll be all, also bring their area rights. Part flooring. Yes, Deb. They are medicine cabinets. I did medicine cabinets. It is one. Oh, it is a question. I'm still not hearing you. And now.
Sorry.
Can you hear me now? No. Okay, sorry. So the question was, is there storage in the bathrooms? And there is. In the primary bathroom, there's a medicine cabinet. The lighted mirrors are medicine cabinets. There's also a bathroom cabinet too, where that has drawers and doors. Okay. Here, hold on. Yes, Wendy. Just a question. Okay, so you have your shades.
See if I can make it louder.
Yeah, so we're gonna get to that. So the question was curtains. Sorry. We're having issues. We're having technical issues.
Hello.
Oh.
Okay, so this microphone is now working.
Thank you.
Okay. The question was, oh, yes, it is. The question was curtains or window coverings, and I believe we're going to get to that shortly. But yes, there are window shades, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Ellie,
Let's have automatic.
I'll make
shade.
my way back.
And also like an automatic.
In the bathroom, you
Maybe
have the
we can-
lighted medicine cabinets. Do you also have a vanity or is it a free floating sink?
We'll have a built-in vanity.
Also in the bathroom will there be fold down shower seats?
Yeah, I'll take this down. I think what we should do is if you guys have questions that are related to any of the finishes that Jade just presented, let's focus our questions on those things because what's going to happen is when we move on, we'll start talking about plumbing fixtures and appliances and all of those things. So there are questions related to any of the materials that she just went over that are up on the table here. We'll keep it to that. And then after the next section, then we can ask those types of questions. So that's kind of how we're gonna hopefully work it. Okay.
Can we just ask a
Questions on this side so far? Any more in the middle? Okay, hold on. Let me get to you, Pauline. I feel like I'm like a game show host here. Here you go, Pauline, and I'll get to.
Two questions. Number one, how high are the ceilings in the units?
So first floor residences are 12-foot ceilings, second, third, and fourth floor residences are 10. Correct?
And the bathrooms are 9.
And bathrooms are 9. Oh, we have a follow-up.
Can you choose for one of the bathrooms, let's say from pallet A and the other bathroom from pallet C?
Thank you for that very commonly asked question. So the answer is without any customization fees, no. So the pallets are the pallets across the board, and that is standard for the residences with no additional fees. If you really feel strongly about you want a separate bathroom, then it would be called a customization and there would be a fee for that customization because we would then reverse it back to the original pallet after you've left. Okay?
I see the pictures and I'm picturing us going through the booklet. And in those slides, I don't see any dollar signs. When we get the booklet, will there be dollars in them?
We are waiting on construction to get us all of the pricing for the upgrade materials. When you meet with Leslie, we will have all of the pricing available to you. Okay, Diane.
How high are the counters, in the kitchen and in the bathrooms? The trend now is a higher counter, compared to years ago when they were very low.
The regular height is 3 feet, 36 inches, in the kitchen and in the bathroom. And some of the accessible units are 2 foot 10, 34 inches.
So 36 and 34 inches. Some residences are labeled accessible. We are required by law to have 10% of our 1-bedroom and 10% of our 2-bedroom residences to be accessible residences. So if your floor plan has an asterisk, those would be considered accessible residences. We can meet about that when it comes time for your personalization appointment. Ray, did you need to?
Personalization.
Oh, we have a lot of questions on Zoom. Okay.
What-
I'm going to
what-
direct them to the interiors team, but Ray's going to read them off.
All right. So I know LaWinter had a question. So the people in the room cannot hear you, but Ray can hear you. So if you repeat the question to me, I will let the room know.
I think one question has been answered, but what is the time frame for making these decisions about the various designs?
Absolutely. So the question is, what is the time frame that they have to make these certain decisions?
So we're, again, waiting on construction to give us the deadlines and the organization of getting all of the finishes in. We feel that we would like this done by in 6 months by the end of the year. So we think that's a reasonable amount of time. We will be reaching out to everyone to schedule. Leslie will be reaching out to everyone to schedule those appointments. We anticipate it to be about a 90-minute appointment. So when you come, we really ask that you come prepared. I know we don't have pricing yet and those kinds of things, and those are things that can be discussed in the appointment. And of course, if there's a follow-up appointment, we'll honor that. But we have 100 and at least 50 members to meet with, and Leslie is one person. So we are really asking for it to be an expedient and productive appointment, if that's at all possible. Sorry. Oh,
Senior.
yes, Perkins Eastman is has a lot of experience with designing for seniors. Our architects have designed a lot of senior living communities, and this team has a lot of experience with that. They're like counter, so have you been to, you've been into our mhm. Well, then perhaps we can create that accessible lower counter for you. Yep, all of the toilets are at the highest level available. We'll continue to get to that. Okay, sorry, there's some more questions, and then I think we need to move on, and we will keep hitting questions towards the end of the program.
All right, Berkowitz, I know you guys had a question, so if you can speak it into my ear and I'll speak it into the room, please.
Can I ask a question now?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, thank you for this preview. It's very helpful. I do have a question because I couldn't tell much from the pictures with detail, but I noticed your hardware and your counters seem to have very sharp right angle edges, the hardware at the edges and the counters along the top. Is it possible if we want to have the edges relieved or to get hardware that have rounded edges? So should we bump into them, we don't get bruised?
Sure. So the question is, in all of the pictures, there are hard right corners. So they were wondering about rounded corners on countertops and edges. So that way, if you perhaps bump into them, you're not injuring yourself.
Yeah, the edges are gonna be rounded 1 inch, so they are not 1 inch radius. They are not east edge, they are rounded. Yeah, we have take that comment from you guys.
Thank you. And that includes the countertops along the horizontal edge?
Yeah, let's move on to that.
Okay, so that includes the countertops as well?
Yes.
Okay, so all
Thank
the
you.
rest of the questions on Zoom, I see you. We're gonna move on and I will take note of these and I will bring them up, I promise, before the end of the presentation.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we are moving on. We're going to talk about some of the typical residence features. We're showing the typical door hardware. If you have been in the Welcome Center, this is the hardware that you will see on all of the doors in the Welcome Center. It's from Schlage. It's just a lever style in a satin nickel finish. Roller shades will also be installed on all of the windows. They will be manually operated. There's a pull cord. If you would like the option to upgrade the shades to be motorized, you can do so. They're battery powered. This question came up during the first presentation. The living spaces have a 3% openness, which means it'll let more light in. And then the bedrooms are a little bit darker, so they block out more light. They're at a 1% openness. And then we are also showing the typical hanging rod and wood shelf for all of the closets. There was a question about whether or not you would be able to come in and add custom storage. All of your customization can be done post occupancy. So once you guys move in, you can have like California Closets or a similar company come in and do custom closets if you would like. An upgrade option for the residences. We are proposing a fireplace. It's an electric fireplace. The image on the left is showing it installed as is. And then the image on the right is showing it with the optional upgrade with the mantle and the stone surround. So on the left, it's a little bit more contemporary. It's just installed in the wall. And then on the right, it's a little bit more traditional look. Looks a little bit more built in.
You will have an option, but this is going to be an upgrade of using a warming flooring. This floor, it comes in a roll. It's quite of an inch thick. It will be roll and install and under your floor as you desire. It can be installed under tile or under the luxury vinyl tile. And it comes in rolls. And as you see there, it has just wires. So you can design where you want the heat to be. It can be under the, well, in the sink when you're standing, outside the shower or the tub, or in the whole floor. So that is something that you will decide. That is going to be giving you the price, obviously, for the upgrade, and you will decide how much of the floor you want to heat. Okay. This system is from Slade, and it will come with a smart thermostat, so you can control when to use it. You turn it off when you don't use it. But this is going to be an upgrade for you in the bathroom or throughout your unit, your residence. And then these are the type of doors that we're using. You are using Jeld-Wen doors. The style is Madison. We are going to have a solid core doors in the bedrooms and in the bathrooms, 1 3/4 inch thick doors. And the closets are going to be hollow core, and those are going to be 1 38 inches. Okay.
And then we're also just showing the typical wood and door trim profile and the wall base, the wood wall base. The standard option is 3.5 to 4 inches high, and then there's an optional upgrade to have taller base, which is about 7 inches tall.
We also, in the hard floors, we are providing the shoe that covers the joint between the wall base and the floor. So it covers that gap.
All right, moving into the standard lighting. So these are more of the ambient lighting. So throughout most of the apartment, you will have the surface mounted down lights, and you'll see them in number 1. And then number 2 is the under cabinet lighting for the kitchens. 3 is the outdoor lighting for the balconies. And 4 is the closet lights. Moving into decorative lighting, there's this really pretty entry light fixture from AFX. There's, if you have been in the Welcome Center or when you go to the Welcome Center, you'll be able to see the kitchen pendants, number 6, installed. They're this pretty pearl pendant from Justice Lighting. Number 7 is the bedroom. It's a surface mounted fixture. And number 8, if your unit has a powder room, there will be 2 of these wall sconces installed on either side of the mirror. Then we have some additional upgrade options for the kitchen pendants. Option 1 is this ribbed white glass pendant. It's about 5.5 inches round and 8 inches tall. And option 2 is this Spanish alabaster and antique nickel fixture. It's about, again, 5 inches round and 22 inches tall. There's also the option to add a ceiling fan to the bedrooms. This would replace the downlight. There's a light that is included with the ceiling fan. So it's a fan and a light, and there's a remote control. It's also able to be connected to any Bluetooth devices like Amazon Alexas, Google Homes, etc. And then outlets, there was the question of adding additional outlets to your unit. When you guys are looking at your personal floor plans that you'll receive at the end, thinking about where you want to put furniture, if there's a spot where you would like to add an additional outlet, you can do so. Moving into standard kitchen appliances and fixtures. We're showing the faucet and sink. The sink's from LK and the faucet is from Brazil. These, I should also note, all of these standard appliances are installed at the kitchen at the Welcome Center. So when you guys go in, you can look at them, more close up. All of the units will have garbage disposal, and all of the units will also have a microwave drawer. And we have an electric cooktop and a vent hood. Number 5 is the wine fridge. So the wine fridge is a standard appliance for the units that are listed here in the booklet. Your unit is not listed here. We can coordinate with Leslie if you would like to add a wine fridge, but that would be considered an upgrade. We're also showing the standard fridge, which is a side-by-side with a water and ice dispenser. And 7 is the standard dishwasher. 8 is the wall oven, and the wall oven is installed below the cooktop. So instead of having a range, it's the cooktop and then the wall oven below. We have some additional upgrade kitchen appliances for you guys. If you would prefer to have a countertop microwave for easy access, you can swap out the microwave drawer for a countertop microwave. We're also offering an induction cooktop to the electric. Number 3 and 4 are additional fridge options. So these both are French door style. 3 has a water, an ice, and a hot water dispenser. And option 2 does not have a water and ice dispenser. It does have an ice maker in the freezer though. But you get a little bit more storage because you don't have the water and ice dispenser. And then moving into some Okay. Run through a couple more and then we'll do another round of questions here. We have some additional upgrade features to the kitchen. The standard sink is a stainless steel sink, but if you guys would prefer to upgrade to this white porcelain sink, this is an option. It also comes with some additional accessories, a cutting board, a drain board, colander/drying rack, a soaking bin with a drain, and a stainless steel bottom sink rack. And then if you decide to go with option 2 fridge for the upgrade that doesn't have the hot water dispenser, but you would like hot water, you can choose to install a hot water faucet. And now we are moving into the kitchen appliance package. So this package is a totally separate manufacturer from the standard appliances. The standard appliances are from a line called GE Cafe. This upgrade appliance package is from the Wolf Sub-Zero Cove family. And these appliances in this package cannot be individually selected. If you choose to upgrade your appliances to Wolf or Sub-Zero, you have to upgrade all of the appliances. You'll see on here, we are also offering a countertop microwave and a microwave drawer option for you to select from. Just a quick note about finishes. All the finishes in the package are stainless steel except for this countertop microwave. It is only offered from Wolf in the black finish. So it will look a little bit different than the other appliances. Number 2 is you have the option to do an induction cooktop and a wall oven that'll be installed below, or you can do an induction range. Number 3, if you have a wine fridge in your unit, which is listed up here, you can upgrade to this Sub-Zero wine fridge. Number 4 is the over-under fridge, and it does have an internal water dispenser and an ice maker in the freezer. And then number 5 is the dishwasher. I think now is a good time to stop and see if there's any questions about the kitchen appliances.
I'm right here. Okay.
Hi, I wondered if there's a water filter faucet in the kitchen sink.
There's not as a standard or an upgrade.
Okay, the water, the hot water. I live in Stanford and the water here doesn't taste that good. And we always use our drinking water with a filter. So I would suggest making that an option.
The refrigerator has
standard.
a filter, but not the faucet or your sink will not have that filter that you're asking. The refrigerator comes with a filter, but not the hot water upgrade or your regular sink faucet.
So the filter would come through the refrigerator instead of the sink.
Yeah,
Okay,
yes, but that one
fine.
is if you want the standard, it has the water and ice dispenser. It comes with a filter, but if you upgrade for the regular the refrigerator with a French door, you have to add a filter because that one doesn't come with a filter.
Thank you.
Sorry, just one more. We have a question from Zoom.
What type of exhaust fan is proposed in the kitchen?
The hood, it's a vented hood. It's a Bosch stainless steel. That is the exhaust that you will have when you're cooking. That's the exhaust that you have.
Will we get the upgrade prices well in advance of our meeting so we have time to think about it?
That's a great question. I will get back to you on that answer, Roz. I'm not afraid to say I don't have the answer for that, but I will find out and we'll get back to everybody on that. But that's a great question.
Okay, over here.
The GE Cafe fridge,
Gotta hold it closer, Mary.
is it a 24-inch counter depth or is it deeper than that? The Sub-Zero, I assume, is 24 inches, so it doesn't stick out.
Yes, but all of the fridge options that I've shown here are counter depth.
Good, okay, thanks.
I've got one here, Lisa.
Hi, can you explain what I can do with a wine fridge what if I don't want to keep wine?
If your unit has one as a standard and you don't want it, you can always opt to remove it and replace it with a cabinet.
But what does one use a wine fridge for besides wine, or is there?
You can store any large bottles that you have, like I don't know, just water or beer if you like to drink beer. But those the wine refrigerators can be used for storing liquid only.
Hold on just one moment. We got one from Zoom.
So there's questions about lighting. Can the pendant fixtures be changed? And are they all able to be dimmed?
Yes to the dimming.
Like, does the question have, do you want to bring your own pendants in versus what is offered? Is that the question, do you think?
I am not sure, but the person who asked that question, if you can clarify in the chat, I can resequence this question at a later date.
Okay, then over here.
But
Yes,
to add it to, sorry, but I guess to add into the question of the light, if the person likes to bring their own, I think that it has to be an upcharge because it's going to be an installation, but it has to be a coordination between KBE and receiving that package. So it's something that Leslie has to coordinate with the contractor.
Yeah, so let me just make a point on that. If there is like something that's going to get switched out for your own preference or any customization, It's not always like an approval. We have to go to the construction company to make sure that it's something that can be done within the building. We want to make sure that there's no structural walls that want to be moved or anything like that. So there's a lot of coordination, and that's part of your meeting with Leslie, is to propose like, what if can I do this? Can I do that? Some of them are pretty easy to answer. Some we need to go to the construction company to make sure there's no pipes or electrical, or it's a structural support wall. So like there will be back and forth, especially with customization like that. Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Is the disposal manually or electrically driven?
It's electric and there's a switch.
It's
Uh,
electric and there's a switch. Phyllis.
Just quickly, the Sub-Zero refrigerator, do you know the dimensions, the cubic? Because you give it for the GE, but not the Sub-Zero.
Okay, no,
We can find out.
we will find out.
Sorry.
We will circle back around on that.
22.
22 cubic feet.
Sometimes it's not, yes.
Yeah,
Because it has more
a
machine.
lot of work in there.
But
Okay.
we will confirm that.
A question about the dishwasher is the GE Cafe line, which is what we have in our welcome center. And everybody is welcome to come in, and especially after today, and especially the people who are online, please come stop by so you can see all of this up close and personal, touch it, feel it. You know, we're here Monday through Friday. And then we can certainly try to answer all of questions that I'm certainly we're writing questions down that we don't have the answers to, so we can get back to everyone on them. And then, yeah, and then we'll be able to get those answers for you. Martin.
Once we've moved in and we have a fixture that we like, what's to prevent us from changing it ourselves?
Nothing. I mean, of course you would yes. I mean, we'd want to make sure that that if there's a fixture that it's installed properly, there's no, hazardous, electrical work. Like we don't want any weekend warriors, getting up on ladders. That's what we're trying to avoid. And we would actually probably want our people to be able to do it, so we know that it's done properly, is for the safety of everybody else.
I have an answer for the countertop and the senior living. We have select the appliances that we have for seniors. We pick the electric top separate from the oven, so the countertop can be on the correct height for you. If you use a stove or a range, those ranges come on 30 inches tall. That's how the manufacturer make them. They don't make it smaller or taller. There's one standard. So when you have a range, your countertop next to it has to be 36 inches. Maybe the other side or the sink can be lowered, or a part next to the kitchen, it's lower because that's a code requirement that we have to comply. But now, if you have a range, it's 36. But if you have a stove, a top stove, like the other one, if you have these stove or cooktop, sorry, and an oven, then that can be lowered for, that's for your ease, if that's what you would like. Yeah. The island where you see on the renderings, and then obviously in the welcome center, is higher. If you wanted to, that is a bar height, that's how we call it, bar height. But if you want a counter height, then can be lower. But it's a custom, right? Counter height, sorry.
Bar height is higher, counter is at your waist. So exactly the way it is at our welcome center. We have counter stools, so I invite you to come and take a look. They're comfy. All right, any more online, and then we're going to continue.
So they were asking, does the kitchen vent hood vent through the roof? And where is the switch for the disposal located?
Yeah, the hood is vented to the outside. It's not a recirculating, it's a vented out.
And then where's the location of the disposal switch?
It might be, it's in the surrounding of the sink. I don't have the plan now with me. We can get back to the answer, and obviously it's different.
Device that puts the switch any place you want it on.
Yeah.
Okay. There's the answer. But we can get back to that question. We don't have the plans and we don't know them by heart.
So just to make it clear, what is the standard?
Can you, Diane, can you please talk in the microphone because the people online can't hear you?
What's the standard height for the counter, the eat-in part with the stools? So it will be 36. So if you want to lower that as a customization, is that correct?
Correct.
Oh.
Okay, moving on, we're going to talk about some of the standard kitchen cabinet features. So here in number 1 at the top, we're just showing the door profile. Like I mentioned, it was what we're calling a slim shaker or a micro shaker. It just has a real thin square profile to the doors and the drawers. All the cabinets and the drawers will be soft closed hinge. And we have pull-out trays for the pantry and all of the base cabinets. In number 3, if your unit has an L shape or a U shape, in the corners, you'll have what we call this easy reach wall cabinet, just to maximize storage. If you also have an L or U shape, you might have a Lazy Susan in your in the bottom. Although the units have pull-out trash. And we're also showing what we're calling this blind corner cabinet. So for some of the U-shaped units, one corner might have a Lazy Susan and the other might have this blind corner. Here we're showing the standard laundry appliances. So if your unit is listed here, you have a side-by-side washer and dryer. The units that have an asterisk are the accessible units, and your washer and dryer will be mounted on pedestals. And then here we're showing the stacked washer and dryer. So if your unit is listed here, you have a stacked washer and dryer. Now moving into some of the standard bathroom plumbing fixtures and accessories. Number 1, we're showing the toilet and the lever. Number 2, we're showing the faucet and the sink. Number 3 is the lit medicine cabinet, which is a standard for all of the primary bathrooms. And number 4 is the lit mirror, which is the standard for all of the second bathrooms, if your unit has a second bathroom. If you would like to upgrade this lit medicine mirror and add it to the second bathroom, you can do so. If your unit has a powder room, we have a pedestal sink and faucet and a vanity mirror. Number 7, some of the bathroom configurations have a separate toilet and shower room. So here we're showing the glass panels and doors. And then number 8 is the grab bars. The grab bars will be installed in all of the bathrooms. If you would like to have them removed, you can coordinate that with Leslie. Then moving into the shower, all of the showers will have an overhead shower fixture and a handheld shower. And then we're also showing the towel bar, robe hook, toilet paper holder, and towel ring. And then moving into some upgrade options. If your unit has a second bathroom and you would prefer to have a bathtub instead of a shower, you can upgrade to a bathtub. Number 2 is the rain shower head. So this would replace the standard shower head. The rain shower is a little bit larger. It's about 12 inches round, and the arm of it is about 16 inches. So it extends a little further out into the shower. And then number 3, for the primary bathrooms only, if you would like to upgrade the toilet and add a bidet seat, you can. And then that is the end of the presentation. So we'll open it back up for additional questions.
Great. I'll be right there, Ellie.
Back to my question about the fold down shower seat. Would that be an option?
That is going to be installed in the accessible units. Yes.
As a standard.
And that, yes, a standard.
If you wanted to add it, you'd probably be able to add it, but it would be an additional charge. Yeah, so it is a standard and accessible residences. But if it's something that you want to add, it would be considered a customization and we would add it and you would just be charged for that installation. Tom?
For the bathtub, you can do a walk-in bathtub there too?
Actually, that's one of my answers for you. And we don't believe we can because it's not compliant with ADA standards. So in the entire community, we have to make sure that we're compliant with ADA standards, meaning that no matter what, even if your residence is not accessible, but we have to make sure that it can be accessible for everyone. So a walk-in tub, this is what we've gotten from the architect.
I think if you'll check if there's a 36-inch opening, actually 34-inch opening for a walk-in tub, that it is compliant. Second thing on the
I will find that out for you and I'll get back to you on that then.
and on the garbage disposal for safety, where I've done that where either there's children involved or where there's elderly people, if we know anybody like that, it is safer to have, rather than a switch, because you can have a switch on, something can fall in there or people can put a hand in there. But if you have a guard, no, they're not a guard, a turning handle thing on it, it is much safer. So I think it's something you might want to think about.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Do you have a question, Phil?
Is there a possibility for steam shower in the primary bathroom?
We're gonna need to get back to you on that again. Hold on just a moment. I'll be right back with you, Jay. I have a question from Zoom.
Are you able to install wallpaper or fabric coverings on the walls and customize curtains?
Yes, any window drapery, any curtains that you want to install can be done after you move in. If you would like to add wallpaper, that can also be done after you move in.
Yeah, that's considered a post-occupancy finish. So, in case we install wallpaper and you decide not to move in, now we've got a wallpapered residence that we may not be able to resell. So that's something that would be considered doing post-occupancy, which also includes closet organizers, bookshelves, all of that kind of thing. So anything that you want to add into the residence that is similar, that's not standard, or that we're not going to move walls, would be a post-occupancy finish. Jay?
What about putting a bathtub in the primary bathroom?
We have made the executive decision that the tubs must be in the secondary bathroom. Wendy?
Back to curtains, which was my first question. In my bedroom, or all bedrooms, I want it to be pitch black. And none of these, whatever you call those shades are that.
You can install your own curtains, but your windows will come in your bedrooms with the 1% opening, which is very, very dark. They're not room blackouts, but they're almost 1%. So 99% of the light is not coming through. But then you can install your own draperies if you want to have blackout draperies. And that would be post-occupancy. I know we have a question on Zoom. I'll get over to you, Carl, just one moment. We've got a lot of people that are online that couldn't make it here today, so we just want to make sure we're addressing them.
All right, so I'm going to kind of summarize a couple questions in one. So if you need me to repeat, please let me know. What is the typical baseboard material and size and the interior doors?
The baseboard is made of wood. It's poplar and it's painted, and it's a 3.5 inch tall with a shoe for hard floors. And if you decide to use carpet, it's shoeless. That is going to be painted. The doors, the brand is called Geldwin. The style is Madison, and there is solid core, wood solid core for bedrooms and bathrooms, 1 3/4 inch thick, and hollow core for closets, and the thickness is 1 3/8.
Okay, I have a question here. Susan?
Can you get radiant heat in the bathrooms?
Radiant heat, those are the heated flooring, right?
Yes.
Yes, it's considered an upgrade, and you can do it by, I believe it's probably charged by square footage.
It's going to be charged
Okay.
by square foot.
Perfect. Whoop, hold on. And the kitchen. So anywhere in the, you can radiant heat the whole place if you want. Well, hold on. I know Carl has a question over here. I feel like Phil Donahue. Do you remember him?
Are there electrical outlets in the wall for televisions?
Yes. Yes, there are going to be electrical outlets for televisions.
And the residents will be ready. You can just, you'll plug it right in. So television, internet access, all ready to go when you move in.
Your
Okay.
plan that you receive will show where the TV was designed to be and all the outlets. So you will have that answer on your plan.
Okay, we have one more question from Zoom.
So this is about electrical. Can one plug be connected to some outlets and the living spaces are in the bedrooms? So if you want a lamp, could it be controlled by a switch? And can lighting layouts be revised?
I don't think that we are revising the layouts of lighting. They are what the lighting designer designed it that way for a certain reason. And the switches, they're gonna be switch outlets for lamps, yes.
Here, hold on, Lisa. I have one here for Lisa.
Pros and cons of luxury vinyl tile, please.
The pros, it's a very durable, soft floor. It is less maintenance. You don't have to stain it or polish it's less or zero maintenance.
It also won't buckle, like, so if your housekeeper is using water on the floor or it's for, you get like a little pinhole thing in the dishwasher and it starts leaking without you knowing, the floor won't buckle and it won't ruin.
Right.
So the maintenance aspect of it is really the primary reason. Plus it's very cost efficient as well. I'm just going to get over to this lady here. Hold on a second. Sorry.
Another electrical question. Will there be plugs in the garage for electric cars?
Yes. Yes, there will be. It's
And
but by code, there is a limit on number of electric cars by the total number of cars in the site. But yes, there's gonna be some.
Okay, I have one more question from Jay.
What about wall sconces? Can those be installed?
Probably a post occupancy. Well, we'd have to make sure there's wall sconces
Yeah,
in like living areas or bedrooms.
Wall sconces, definitely.
That would be a custom.
A customization.
You are adding an electric light to your unit. So we don't have sconces right now. The only ones are on the bed in the powder bathroom. And you have you can add it, yes.
So Leslie will be using a software program called Blue Fingerprint. And she is able to say, when you come in and you have your floor plan, all of your floor plans are loaded into the software. Our pricing will be loaded into the software. And you can say, we would like a sconce here and here. And that would be an additional electrical thing and with some details for the construction company. Okay, great. And Anyone else here? Okay, Ellie.
I have one question.
The
Will
living
there be
room
an option
lighting,
you-
is that LED lighting? And is there just one that's centered in the room or are there several?
That's a great question. So I think there's down lighting, correct?
In the bathroom, or I'm sorry, in the
Living room,
Oh, in the living room, it's all down lights.
it's all down lights. So like recessed lighting on dimmers, correct?
Yeah.
I think that you will receive on your plan, they have the ceiling plans.
Yeah, so the floor plans that are individual to your residence, because some are a little bit different from first floor to second floor to third floor to fourth floor, will have where the whole lighting package. You'll see it when you get there. There's a little legend that tells you what these symbols mean, and that'll allow you to kind of see what the design of the lighting package is. Any Zoom calls? Just 1 second. Zoom,
Yes, will there be
questions?
will there be an option to put a floor socket in if one of us wants to have a chair and light somewhere out in the middle of the room? In the
Will there
living,
be an option to have a floor socket placed in the middle of the room for an electric chair?
no, for an electric light, if
great
we want to
question.
have it next to
I
a chair.
believe that that's going to be a customization add-on. And yes, we can do that right now. That's something that Leslie will be able to do. And again, that like kind of is going to be what's going to dictate our, if the construction company needs like all the first floor residences designed first because of that specific question, we may be reaching out to everybody that is on the first level. So still TBD, but we will be communicating a lot. Okay.
How soon
We have
after?
a small structural change to our unit. Can we let Leslie know before we meet with her so she could price it out before we get there? Well, let us know what that would be. That,
That's a great question, Roz, and I know I owe you 2 answers now. So again, probably a better one-off question for us, and because I'm not going to remember these, I'm just hoping you're writing them down. Okay, so Leslie's writing them down. We will get back to you on that as soon as we can. Okay. It's not a one-off question. You're right. It's not a one-off question. So as soon as we'll figure out how we can relay the pricing for certain items to you all. I think that's really important that we are able to provide that to you before you start your meetings.
But for the answer on the structural, if we change anything structural, it depends on where the unit is located and which floor. Because if we change structurally in your floor, it has to be changed in the other floors because it's a wood structure. So it's not just as simple as moving. So it has to be thought by the structural engineer. And it involves more stuff than just move this wall.
Yeah, it's going to depend on the wall and where it is.
Who will be our primary contact for specific questions after this meeting, and about how long do we have to wait before we get answers?
If you could please email your questions email them to me. I'm taking it. aferrari@mosaicCL.org. So I will filter through those questions and try to get back to everybody in a timely manner. I do ask for your patience because we're still getting answers for a lot of very common questions. Okay, yes.
That's aferrari@mosaicCL.org.
You just said this is wood structure, which means that's light construction by definition. And by definition, light construction is generally not very soundproof. So what are you doing to ensure the soundproof between apartments, particularly since you allow pets?
We have designed the building with the required STCs for this particular wood construction. We can provide you the information. We don't have it here, and I don't have that by memory.
Yeah. So I do know that the walls between residences are 8 inches thick, double insulated, and the from floor to ceiling is a 12-inch depth. using a material called gypcrete, which is a lighter material than concrete, but it's also an insulator and a sound resistant barrier. Diane.
Regarding the closet doors, like, for the walk-ins, I noticed they're all opening in. Can they be reversed to open out? Because the door that opens in takes away space from the closet.
So the answer, the question is, can the closet doors be reversed as, do they open out versus in? I don't know if there is a code that perhaps.
We just have to, we can get back to you.
Okay.
I mean, I don't see
might-
why that wouldn't be, because I think that it would be
Probably on a
something
case
very
by
doable.
case basis.
But
We
it's,
can take a look at that.
some base cases.
I have an email.
Yeah, case by case, because we want to make sure that if the door is
Got
open, it's not bare, it's not like in the way for, like an exit during, God forbid, an emergency
But
or
if
something.
that's your case in your unit, you can certainly contact Leslie and say, I want this to be reversed, and then that's.
She's
will be taken
jotting these
care of.
questions down, Diane.
Follow-up question about doors. Is it possible to put pocket doors in some locations?
In some locations, again, it's going to have to be looked at by the construction company to make sure there, one is space. There's no electrical or any plumbing or anything in the door space. So again, that's something that if that's, Leslie would reach out to KBE Construction to get that approved and get back to you.
But that's customization, correct? That
It would be a customization. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Any other questions online? We appreciate these questions. We will continue to answer questions. We're always here Monday through Friday, and then always available on email. I invite you to come and take a look at all of these beautiful pieces here that our design team really worked hard to make sure it was a cohesive, beautiful palette that also reflected the elegance of our community. Oh, sorry, Carrie, do you have a question? Yes, yes. So all of these are at our Welcome Center as well. So if you need to get going, I know we've kind of run a little bit long. I do appreciate your participation. Please reach out to me, A Ferrari, and that's Ferrari with an IE. I'm not related to the family, unfortunately, but it's AFERRARIE at mosaic with a Z, CL.org. I am here to answer all of your questions, as well as Sandra and Janice and Leslie, of course. We're not giving you her number yet because she's not ready to answer all your questions, but we will be all working together. And as soon as we have everything available as far as pricing, I'm going to try to figure out how to get that information to you all so you are prepared prior to your appointment. Thank you. Stay cool and hydrated. I'm sorry. Yes, so you get to your package when you hand in your lanyard. That's how we know. But we do appreciate you all coming here and so excited to continue this journey with you all.
If
Thank you.
if we're online, will we get the package? Obviously, don't have a lanyard.
Yes, so those that are online, I know it might be hard to hear me right now, but if you can hear me, those that are online, we will be getting that package to you shortly. We are trying to decide what the best plan of action is because there's a lot of people that couldn't be here today. So between snail mail and email, we will be able to get this information to you. Just please be patient with me as I work through all of this.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
All right.